So getting a shiny starter Pokemon in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire used to be just luck, but now with this RNG tool you can make it a science so you can get a shiny Pokemon every single time. So let me show you how to get a shiny Mudkip in this example, and it's going to apply to all the other starters as well. So in the description of this video I'll have the link to what you need to download for your PC right here, and also the plugin for your 3DS. So all you have to do is click the RNG tool and it'll download immediately. And as for the Poke Reader, you're going to click that and it'll get you to the GitHub page. You're going to scroll down a little bit until you get to the Installing tab, and you're going to click the latest Poke Reader, and then we're going to download default.3gx. So we'll click that. So this will be for your PC and this will be for your 3DS. So what we have to do is remove the SD card while our 3DS is turned off. Once you have your SD card plugged into your computer, we're going to go to Luma, and then if you don't have this folder, you can create it. We're going to create a plugins folder, all lowercase, and then inside this folder, we're going to put the default file in here. So the default file we talked about before, we're just going to click and drag that into the plugins folder, and now we're going to safely eject our 3DS SD card. So while you put that back in your 3DS, when it comes to the PC, we're going to just left click this twice. It comes up with this error for me, but it loads right after that. But you have your computer set up now, and we're going to work with our 3DS next. And so how we get access to make sure this is working, we'll hold the left trigger down and select. We're going to make sure while in the Rosalina menu, we're going to make sure the plugin loader is enabled, and that way you'll have that screen come up when it's turning on. And if it still doesn't come on, you have to restart your game while this is enabled. So just exit out of the game and then turn it back on. So what we're going to do after we turn on our 3DS is we're going to go to the Pokemon game. So we have Omega Ruby here. And so next we're going to hit the right button, and now we're going to go to this screen. And next we're going to tap the X and the Y button at the same time to lock this screen, and then we can press A. So before you do this, this is how you do it incorrectly. So I'm just giving an example, and then if you want to skip to how to do it correctly, just go to this timestamp. What we're going to do is we're going to select our game, we're going to hit continue, and so we're going to get in front of the bag, and I'm just going to hit start and select at the same time, and this will freeze the game. And we can continue it in a second, but we're going to go to our computer, and we need to enter our game version, our seed, and our TSV. So we're going to make sure we're in the stationary RNG section. We're going to go to game version, which is Omega Ruby. We're going to go to seed, and this is going to be at the top. It says init seed or initial seed. We're going to enter that. So mine is this, but you're going to enter whatever is on your console. So I have that entered, and at the very bottom we're going to see TSV, and I'm going to enter that number. You'll enter yours, and then we're going to go to starters and make sure that's selected right there for the category. And I'm going to have Mudkip selected for this example, and then we're going to have the shiny only selected right here. You can change these stats if you want to. I'm just going for a random shiny starter. And for target frame, we'll leave it as is. We'll leave all of this as is, and we'll hit calculate. Now we're going to look to when to press the button. So far we have passed the first section here. We're going for frame, and you're looking for the MT advances. This is what it's referencing when it says frame. So we've already passed that section right there. So you can hit start and it will continue the MT advances. We've already passed the first two, as you see. So the next one we're going to have is 2,892, and that's going to take what it says around 48 seconds. So we're going to try for that one. You can even choose the nature as you see amongst those. I'm just going to show you how to do this, and then you can choose what you would like to do. So another important thing to check is what's the last number. So it's a 0, so that means it's an even number. If it were an odd number, you would have to go for only the odd numbers on your frames. So let's try for the 2,892. I'm going to hit start, and I'm going to get to the menu before you have to click the A button. So we're going to go to Mudkip, and now we wait till it gets to 2,892. But we're actually going to select it around maybe 2,850-ish if we can time it that right. So now we wait, and I'll probably talk until that happens because it's going to happen very soon. So I'm going to pause it right here. And now every time we press select, it's going to move 2 frames. So that's why whenever you get an even ending number, you can then push until you get to the next number. So we're going to go to 92. So a mistake I made was we'll have to get to the yes button, I believe. So see, I already messed up there. So if you're like me and you messed up, what you can do is hold the left and the R button and hold start, and it'll restart your game. So let's just use that as an example. If you do that, you mess up. You have to get to the yes and no option and then wait. That's a much better way. Alright, so we're restarting the game. We'll go right again, and then we're going to lock it. We're going to start our game, and then we're going to pause it with pressing start and select, and we're going to have to re-enter our seed in our TSV. And my TSV stayed the same, so I'm just going to leave it at that, and we're going to have to click calculate again. So I'm just going to go for 1091 just so we can get this example, and I'll show you how to do it. So I'm going to hit the start button, and I'm going to go there. And now what we're going to do correctly is click it, and we're going to leave it at this menu. And so this has an odd number. Luckily we have an odd number as well when we pause it. So I'm going to continue this until we get closer to 1000. So now we're going to go to 91. Okay, and when you're at that frame, we're going to then hit the A button. It's going to continue doing that. So we're going to hit the A button, and it should be a shiny. We're going to see what happens. And it was. So that's how you should do it correctly, and let the other example be the incorrect example. Now that we have our shiny, we can turn this off, so we can hold the left trigger down and select. We can go to disable the plugin if you want. We can unlock this, go back, and then we're going to fight this Pokemon, and then once we're done we can have that turned off. And so what you can do is hit the X button, you can save this, and then when we restart the game we can have that menu removed. So as you see, when you restart it, it'll be removed from there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what starter you chose in the comments down below.